In this video we will discuss about another factor that helps in the cancer progression, that is the exosomes that are released by the cancer cells itself. And the three main categories that are being discussed in this figure is by which these exosomes helps in the cancer progressions are this ECM remodeling, SADase activity, and internalization of the exosomes. So we will begin with this ECM remodeling. In the ECM remodeling, what will happen is that the exosomes that are released by cancer cells interact with the ECM that is nearby to the cancer cells and helps in remodeling of this ECM in two different ways. First one is that the proteins that are expressed on this exosome surface, such as this LOX protein, can interact with the extracellular matrix and helps in the cross-linking. And there are various research that has been published that shows that cross-linking of the cellular matrix helps in the cancer cells progression and the metastasis. So what will happen is that when the cross-linking of this ECM occurs is that cancer cells are more adhere to this cross-linked ECM. Thereby this process will help in the uh, proliferation and migrations of the cancer cells, and compared to the case where ECM is not cross-linked. And the other way by which this ECM remodeling helps in this cancer cells progression is similar to the process that we have discussed in our previous video, that is ECM degradation by proteases and glycosidase. We have discussed in our previous videos about MMPs such as MMP40s and other MMPs also, and in this figure they have mentioned about the other glycosidase also that helps in this degradation of the ECM, such as hyaluronidase and some of the unknown enzymes and unknown ADAMTs also. So because of this ECM degradations, it will create a less resistance pathway for the cancer cells to migrate from primary organ sites to the secondary organ sites. So this is about the ECM remodeling. Now we will come to the next category by which exosomes helps in the cancer cell progression, that is SADase activity. So in this SADase activity, what happens is that when the exosomes interact with the recipient cells, and this because the exosomes on the surface contains the various proteins such as this ADAM 17, 10, 15 that and some of the other exosome surface receptors and transmembrane receptors that helps in the cleaving of the cell surface proteins on the recipient cells, and thereby they uh, creating a situation such that these exosomes will trigger different signaling pathways such as NOS signaling pathway, ERK pathway, AKT pathway. The common thing about this pathway is that all of them are related to increased proliferation and growth of the cells, and this will lead to increase, and this will cause the increased growth rate and proliferation will cause or will create more probability of the mutations in these recipient cells, and thereby increase the chances of these recipient cells to convert it into the cancer cells. And the next thing, so this is in other way spreading the cancerous cells in the neighboring cells with the help of exosomes through this SADase activity. The next category is about the internalization of the exosomes. So in this case, the exosomes not only remain at the cell surface, but it will internalize into the recipient cells. And as soon as it internalizes into the recipient cells, it will release several markers, such as it will release several growth factors and signaling molecules that will activate different signaling pathways, such as these EMT markers that will, such as the E-cadherin levels and N-cadherin levels will be manipulated in a way that the cells will prone to show EMT characteristics, such as that is it shifts from epithelial to mesenchymal transitions, and simultaneously it will also release these inflammatory immune signalings and other AKT and JK pathway or activation of angiogenic promoters. And these things, that is activation of angiogenic promoters, is related to the generation of more blood vessels that can take care of the need of the this recipient, that can take care of the need of the cell growth rate, increased cell growth rate. and this increased cell growth that could be because of this increased AKT and other pathways, and simultaneously it will release this inflammatory immune signaling, and that will also helps in the generating. It will also helps in this proliferation of the cancerous cells, and these EMT markers, it will help in spreading or metastasizing the cells from one place to another place. So in activations of this, all the signaling pathways will increase the chance of the recipient cells to convert into the cancerous cells, and at the same time have these metastatic characteristics. So there are more probability that this kind of cells can spread the cancers across different part of the body. So, and this is how exosomes can play a major role towards proliferation and migration of the cancers. If you need to understand more about this role of the exosomes in the cancer progression, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. That's all for this video. Thank you for your time.